I'm glad. We have some special guests who have RSVP to attend today. I'd like to start with the mission of a Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. For every Toastmasters meeting, we have some rules. Please mute your mic if you are not speaking and mute all your phones. It can be very irritating when you don't do that, especially for a speaker like me. I would like to request all speakers to refrain from talking about sex, religion, and politics to avoid hurting the sentiments of our audience. I'd like to request guests to type in your club name, and if you're a non-Toastmaster, you may just mention guest. So do keep the messages coming in the chat window. What's wrong with you? Why can't you type in the chat window? Okay. To talk about me, I love history, especially Indian history, and I think I'm going to be a great speaker because I'm a member of the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club. I'm also the class monitor. I'm in 6th standard right now. I study in Division B. Now I'm supposed to introduce someone. I think I have to start speaking. There is someone who's always striving to better our club. She attends meetings all over the world and invites Toastmasters around the globe to attend our meetings. We call her the Grammar Queen. Triple VP. She's DNR, VP PR, VP Aid, and VP Membership. She is a club coach for Bridge Eye to Eye. I'd like to invite the presiding officer, Toastmaster Queen or Rani Deepa. Over to you.
Vandana. Oh, darling, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on this grand stage. The Zoom, I don't know what this is about. I see all small boxes in front of me. Anyway, good evening, subjects. This is me, your queen. You can call me Royal Highness. You can't call me Deepa. Please listen to that. And always follow the rules that just Vandana told you about. And let's start the Zoom meeting, which is actually in the future for me and present for you. Now, I have a few announcements that I was asked to make. The first one is that the division meet is going to happen on 11th April. So contestants from Speech Weavers Club, Vandana, Deepa and Shubhadeep are going to have to prepare this whole week. Table topics, speech. I need awards to come for our club. The next announcement is we have 2 new members. One is Varsha and the other is Vinod Siddhartha. We will have the induction ceremony for them next week. And then all of you brace yourself up and get ready for this new format. Dress better. I see everybody dressed so shabbily. Come on. What is wrong with you? Dress a little like ministers in my palace.
I want to speak. Your Majesty, can I speak to you?
Who's that?
Discipline.
Discipline.
Your Majesty, I am Julie. I want to speak to you. Can you give me permission?
Yes,
Julie. Because other day.
Go ahead, Julie.
Okay. Today in the class, our teacher told me in kindergartens, I'm going to teach you alphabets of English language. All the 26 alphabets. Do you know that? You don't know, I know it. I will tell you. Number 1, A for asymptotic, A for asymptotic, A for symptomatic, instructions. You can't ask such question to Xi Jinping. When he says X for Xi Jinping, means it is Xi Jinping. Y for yellow zone. Y for yellow zone. And Z for Zoom call.
Joke Master Julie, such a nice joke, Julie. Keep it up, darling. You have to keep giving such jokes. It was made me so happy. So proud of you, darling. Now I'm 1300. I thought A is for apple, B is for ball. I don't know what all you have in the future. Let me send my Yuvraj, who is Siddhartha, and Acharya Mayur to the future. He's going to be traveling in a time machine box. I don't know what concoction it is. There's one strange looking object here. I can see you. He's telling he wants to go to the future. Siddhartha, Mayur, you have my permission. These people look like very nice people and well disciplined, and they obey our orders. Make sure they stick to all our cultures and norms and carry out a legacy future. Go and spread our message from the past. Siddhartha
Yes,
and
Queen.
Mayur.
Yes, Queen. So we obey your orders, and based on your instructions, we will go ahead and pass on the culture over to the future as well. Thank you, Queen. So, as per your instructions, I and Mayur Acharya are already in the time machine and we are ready to go. Okay, we take your leave. Now, time machine is running. So, Mayur Acharya, looks like we actually ended up in some place. It looks like an abandoned building, right? This one especially. No one is there, but it's such a building. What can it be? What like? Why is it so like shallow and no one is actually there? But it seems to be a like really good building, right? Is there anyone?
Yes.
Is there
Hello?
anyone?
Hello? Who are
Hello?
you?
I see some wall.
Why are you dressed like this? Is there any drama in school today? You're very, very large and giant, tall, too tall. You look like weirdos. Which class are you studying in 12th standard? What are you doing in my school?
Acharya, what is this creature? And why does it look so tiny? Do you
Somehow
have
I
any?
feel this is our descendant only. Same human being. They might have become smaller, I guess. But let first know her before we disclose who we are.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we should first test her and then only we should disclose about ourselves. Okay, so I am Prince Siddhartha and he is Acharya. So we are also from a nearby school. But before we tell about ourselves, can you please let us know about you?
What? Your names are so funny. April 1st was yesterday, so don't fool me. We also been taught the same chapter yesterday at school. You're trying to play jokes. Your names are very familiar.
What did you study at school?
I heard that the prince was very brave. He becomes king and he wins a lot of wars. And he has 13 wives.
Wow, I hope, I think it's Prince Siddhartha, right?
Um,
Okay, then it's interesting. Oh, so the stars seem to be really shining bright for me. Now I understand why the astrologer was smiling by looking at my kundli. Okay. Yeah, that's
O-
interesting.
Okay, but what about me? I mean Acharya Mayur. What's written over there?
um, he was very smart, intelligent, and
Is it?
you know,
I know all those. I mean his marriages and what about his life?
no, Acharya, I don't think he marries. because otherwise it will be in the textbook.
Is
Tring, tring, tring. Okay, just a minute. I'll be back. I'll be back.
It's
Okay,
okay, Acharya. Don't worry
I have a
about it. Single life won't be so boring, I guess. Okay. I think you can still continue being single.
anyway, let's change this topic and focus on the task at the hand.
Okay,
Okay?
okay, yeah, whatever interests you. Okay.
Hello, Siri. Please find the best. Okay, I want to find out in my schedule
Oh,
who all are there for today's roles for today's meeting. Can you find the agenda
Hmm.
document?
hello, Vandana. And are you talking to any pet? Is the pet also become tiny or something?
Are you kidding me? You don't know what a mobile phone is?
Our sage has discovered that electromagnetic spectrum. This device seems to be harnessing that power. Having 30 wives is not respected, Prince.
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically it's a mobile
Yeah,
and I play on network on it and use it for everything.
I think it's better I reveal my identity before she makes me a total joke in front of this Acharya. Okay. Okay. So, Vandana, so listen very carefully. We are going to tell you a very big secret. Okay. So basically, I am the Prince Siddharth, and he is the Acharya Mayur, the same people whom you learned in the textbook. And we
What?
came here
What are you
big
talking
time
about?
machine.
Time machine?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't believe it. It seems more like a dream, like some story. I How can that happen? I saw a time machine only in the movie. Please tell me
Seriously,
more
have
about
you
you.
ever seen such a chain? We actually are the prince and the acharya. We came here to know more about you people. You have to believe.
Okay.
See the picture. It must have been there on the textbook also.
Yeah, but I didn't know you guys were so tall.
Okay, yeah, we are tall. Like in fact, like all of us are tall over there. You know, you'll be so tiny in front of them. So we came here to actually know more about you people, see how you are communicating, how you are doing things, and then we will also see like what your thoughts are, emotions are, your lifestyle is, how you are living, and we are there to help you.
So we have a speech weavers Toastmasters Club where we speak in a very structured way. So it's a place where you can find like really good speeches and you can also get that information which will be useful for you.
Okay, but what is this Toastmasters?
So Toastmasters was founded by Ralph C. Smedley and it was to empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. So every meeting we have like three things. One is like prepare.
I think Vandana has lost the connection. She must be playing with her mobile.
Okay, Yuvraj, you can go ahead.
Yes, I will go ahead. So I think Vandana has left a note for me. So based on the note, looks like for the Toastmasters meeting, they follow a method in which there would be three sections. So the first section is, what is it? It's a prepaid speech section, and based on the description, it looks like people actually prepare the speeches in advance and then come here and then give up the speeches, and looks like this is going to be a really informative thing because most of them have actually prepared really well and start giving. And the next session looks like table topic section. So what does this mean? Okay,
I
the
give you a
description is
topic,
quite
you have to
interesting.
suddenly speak.
Yes, Vandana, since you are playing with your mobile, I thought I will only read and understand. I am
Yeah.
reading and
Okay.
telling my ear also. Okay, so the Mayur. So the second section looks like the table topic section. This looks quite interesting and familiar to us also. Okay, do you know what? Like people will be just like sitting over there, and there would be a table topic master who would be calling them in and then asking them to speak impromptu in by giving them some random sentence. This looks quite interesting. also I look forward. And there is another section. What is it? The evaluation section. Okay, so this is probably one of the most informative sections, I guess. Right? So looks like once the all the section about two sections are over, there would be an evaluator who comes and tells what how the meeting went, what did where did it went go well and where it didn't go well, and then present the evaluation. Cool, this looks really cool. And this meeting is something which really interests me. I'm the prince, so let me only lead this, okay? And for the sake of anonymity, so Acharya, so let us just reveal ourselves as some temporary beings and rename ourselves as just Siddhartha and Mayur, right? Because we don't
Okay.
know who all people would be there. And let me just lead this meeting, okay, and see like how the new age people are up to. And Acharya, I would request you to be the evaluator because you have always been famous for evaluating every person and every action in a kingdom, right? And I'm
Yes.
sure that you will do a great job. So
Okay.
please be the evaluator. And before I'll introduce you to the audience. Okay. So I see there are a lot of audience in this Toastmasters Club, and dear audience, so here is Mayur, who is going to be the evaluator for us. He is interested in reading and learning new things. And he actually is working as a manager in some telecom services startup. Okay. And he has already taken the roles of some VP membership and being the VP education for a club, And without further delay, I would ask Mayur, the gender evaluator, to come and present how he wants to evaluate the meeting. So over to you, Mayur.
Okay. Thank you, Yuvraj Siddharth, for inviting me again. So, as a general evaluator of the meeting today, I will be noting throughout the meeting my inputs, and I will be giving my report at the end of the meeting. And to help me in that, I have my tech team and listener team with me. So I would like to invite one by one them to give brief about their role. So I would like to invite first my timer of the day, which is Nelson. So Nelson, over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. Today I am the timer. I going to monitor a speech
Nelson, I think you're on mute.
mute.
Your voice is little low, Nelson. Could you speak a louder?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. Today I am the timer. I going to listen over each and every speech and a table topic session and evaluation session. And end of the meeting, I will report that speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes, I'll show that green card, and 6 minutes I'll show that yellow card, and 7 minutes I show that red card, and you have the 30 seconds for the grace period. For the table topic session, we have 2 minutes to 2 minutes. First 1 minute I'll show that green card, and 1.5 minutes I'll show that yellow card, and 2 minutes I'll show that red card, and you have 30 seconds of grace period. Coming to that evaluation uh, session, you have the 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 2 minutes I'll show that green card. 2.5 minutes I show that yellow card, and 3 minutes I show that green card. And end of the meeting I'll submit the report to the general evaluator or to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Nelson, for your brief description about the role. Now I would like to invite our AHA counter of the day, which is none other than Toastmaster Palak. Toastmaster Palak.
Thank you, G/Acharya. So, with all due permission from our Acharya Yuvraj and Her Highness Queen Rani, I would like to introduce my role. I am playing the role of our counter today, and as per my role, I'll be counting the number of the crutch words, which are nothing but the filler words like, so, and, but, and also the filler sounds like I will also take into account any usage of the repetition of the words. and I'll present my report towards the end of the session. Back to you, G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Palak, for your description about the role. Now, I would like to invite our grammarian and listener of the day, who is Toastmaster Akash. Akash, could you give us a brief about your role?
Thank you, Acharya Mayur. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of good usages as well as the bad usages of English language. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is consociate. The word of the day is consociate. The meaning of the word is a partner or associate. Usage. Examples of usages. You will be judged by those with whom you consociate. Another example is that the spirits of both parties may enter into marriage and be more and more consociated. I'll just put the word of the day in chat now. So, yeah. So I'll give the report. So I pasted the word of the day in the chat. I'll encourage everyone to use the word of the day in today's meeting whenever you're speaking, and I'll be back with the report once called upon.
Okay.
Back to
So,
you,
Akash,
Acharya.
you are also doing listener role. So, could you brief about that as well?
Yeah, again back to me. So being a good listener is as important as being a good speaker. So in today's meeting, I'll be noting some tidbits of information, and I'll post questions at the end of the meeting so that we can make sure everybody was listening to the meeting. Back to you,
Thank you so
Acharya.
much. Thank you so much, Akash, for your description about the role. So now that the tech team and listener has described their roles properly, I would request to follow the meeting structure and speak properly without any mistake and listen carefully so that you will improve your communication and leadership skills. And throughout the meeting, I will be observing the meeting throughout and I will give my report at the end of the meeting. And I would like to hand over to our Yuvraj Siddharth to run the show ahead. Over to you.
Thank you, Acharya. I know like how well you observe things and how well you point out. So I'm sure there's going to be a great evaluation. But moving on to the next section, okay. Now I think it's time to see what people have prepared for us and what information we can gather from their speeches. So let's start coming to the first speech. Before we call upon the speaker, let me call the evaluator to read out the guidelines for the speech. The evaluator is the VP Education for one of the most famous clubs in Hyderabad, which is the Madhapur Toastmasters. And he admires Ravi Verma. I think Ravi Verma is born after us, right? For his Indian sensibility in painting and art, which is something we also encourage. So, without further delay, I would like to welcome Toastmaster John Pasha Sheikh. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Yuvraj Siddhartha, for that beautiful introduction. And today, one of your subject, Shubhadeep, is going to deliver his level 5 from high performance leadership pathways project speech 2. And the purpose of the second speech is for Shubhadeep to share some aspects of his experience completing the project. I wish you all the very best, Shubhadeep, and over to you, Yuvraj Siddhartha.
Thank you, John. So coming to the first speaker, so he has been a Toastmaster for close to 5 years. He's fond of public speaking. He enjoys photography and playing guitar. And as work, he works as a senior manager. And coming to his idols, he is fond of Lord Krishna, especially his guidance and his ability to drive people to success is admiring for him. So without further delay, I would like to welcome the first speaker, Toastmaster Shubhadeep. So Toastmaster Shubhadeep, now the stage is yours.
Just give me one moment. I'll just spin the timer.
Sure, Shubhadeep.
On a timer, I'm ready. Speech Weavers Toastmaster Club presents Freedom. One of the most delightful and engaging Toastmaster events that I had the privilege of hosting at our club, the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, on 15th of August, 2020. Fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, the fraternity of Toastmasters gives us an ample opportunity to deliver, to host, to prove, and to anchor multiple events. And this project, which is HPL, also known as High Performance Leadership, gave me that opportunity to host this special event on 15th of August. And I must add, some people has an understanding that Toastmasters is only about public speaking. My friends, that's not right. Every Toastmaster in this room will agree with me that no, Toastmaster is also about leadership skills. And this specific project, this event that I was able to organize with the support of the entire team or the EC team at our club is a real time, is a live example of that. I had this great opportunity. First of all, I must mention how the entire EC team during that time was able to help me to achieve this successful feat. I could not have imagined that I will be able to deliver this entire project without their help, without their guidance. Freedom. Freedom of negative belief, freedom of negative thoughts, freedom of our mind. This was a topic that we decided, the theme of the meeting, and we had two wonderful keynote speeches delivered on that day. Now, a question for the crowd. Does anyone remember the name of the two speakers or the two keynote speakers that we had on that day? Any takers?
So we had DTM Rajkumar Bansal and DTM Rupinder Singh.
Wonderful, thank you. So DTM Rajkumar Bansal, he shared his journey and experience he learned from Toastmasters, especially on the leadership front. The second speaker was DTM Rupinder Singh, who talked about a miracle called India. Another quick question. Why is Rupinder Singh famous? Why did, or how do we know Rupinder Singh as? Any takers?
The semi-final, he's a finalist.
Almost there, Vandana. Wonderful try. Yeah. So Rupinder Singh was the semi-finalist of the World Championship of Public Speaking at ISC in 2018. He's a wonderful speaker. So these were the two power-packed sessions that we delivered on that day, which the audience enjoyed. They were basking in the knowledge and the power of a Toastmaster. And what did we do to top that? We hosted a Q&A session, a direct Q&A with the district leaders who were also part of the meeting. And I still remember Toastmaster Deep, our club president, she hosted the Q&A session. And I still remember the chat pod was entirely flowing with messages. from people wanting to know, wanting to learn about Toastmasters, wanting to learn about the journey of a Toastmaster. This is how the entire event was. And finally, how could we make this event a memorable one? How could we ensure that, yes, when we go back, we will reminiscent about this meeting? Hence, we decided that we'll have a musical session to complete the entire KK. This is how we ended. This is the note on which we ended that meeting, that respective day. Now, throughout this entire meeting, I learned 4 important traits, 4 important lessons, which I believe will serve